Staying with politics, competition between Mpho and John Steenhuisen in the battle for leadership of the DA is heating up. The pair are set to go head-to-head this weekend. Yesterday, Steenhuisen and Phalatse held a closed-door debate to lure voters. Steenhuisen is seeking a second term as party leader. Dr. Ntsikelelo Breakfast, a political analyst, joins me now for more, just to tell us his thoughts on the entire issue. Doc, thank you very much for your time here on ENCA. Just firstly, an opportunity perhaps for the DA to look a certain way to South Africans. They have been described by some as a party that only represents a certain race in the country, but it is a party that has had a black leader before, and it looks like that, you know, after the resignation of a lot of them during Mmusi Mamane's tenure, made them look the way that they looked, or they were perceived by those South Africans who said that they only, are there for white South Africans, for instance.
Yeah, I think the mere fact that you are asking me this question signifies that race is a central way of examining things in the South African body politic. And I don't think that we live in a post-race society, because, I mean, if you look at things like poverty, unemployment, inequality, they have a racial slant. So I don't think the party has transcended beyond the debate on racial categorization, even though, you know, there are some things that have not been resolved, in my opinion, within the party in terms of transformation or racially inspired policies. When you were setting the scene, you said that there is a competition between the two contenders, namely Dr. Mpho, Phalatse, and the incumbent. I tend to differ with that. I don't think that there is any leader at the moment within the DA that is posing a threat to the incumbent. I think he is going to win, because he strikes me as a person who is grounded in the ideological framework of the party. I mean, when he speaks, you can locate his assertions into what the party stands for. I think Mpho, Phalatse, I mean, I've got nothing against her, but I don't think that she is ready at the moment to take over from the incumbent.
And that's exactly where I was coming to. That is there, there doesn't seem to be a lot of people who could go head-to-head with John Steenhuisen at the moment. And both these leaders, their critics individually would say, for instance, Mpho Phalatse failed to keep the city of Johannesburg, which is, the economic hub of the country. And on the other hand, John Steenhuisen, during his tenure back during the local government elections, rather, in November of 2021, the DA did perform quite dismally after the emergence of the FF Plus taking over in some of its constituencies. And at the same time, all the coalitions that the DA has come into or has agreed to, they seem to be falling apart. So both these leaders could be criticized by many.
Yes, of course. I think you are on point, especially on matters of coalition formations, because the ones that have been led by the DA, they've been falling apart, and you can, in a way, take a swipe at the incumbent. But at the same time, also, I think Mpho Phalatse, when she speaks, she doesn't strike me as a person who understands what the party stands for or what the party purports. I think the best strategy she could have employed was to be the deputy of the current leader, as opposed to standing toe-to-toe against him. So that's why I think the writing is on the wall. She is going, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, I think she is going to lose, and the current incumbent is going to win. But the other matter that is an issue of a concern is the fact that the deputy to John is Mazori. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm a white person. So it begs the question as to whether the DA does not put the issue of race on its agenda or not, because it means that after the incumbent has finished his term, she might take over from him, and then it begs the question about the future of black leaders within the party.
And I mean, let's talk. I mean, some people would argue and say, well, the ANC had its elective conference last year, and even there, when you look at race, it's not really equal, is it? But let's talk about somebody else who's also going to be in the spotlight this weekend. That is Phalatse, who for the longest time was the national spokesperson of the Democratic Alliance. He's getting a backing from the mayor of the city of Cape Town, Jordan Hill-Lewis, to become the deputy federal chair. What do you think about that? Because Jordan Hill-Lewis is obviously someone that's respected within the party. Does Phalatse have a chance, especially standing against people like Natasha Mazzoni?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because there is a political alliance between John and Mazzoni. You know, I think they are friends or some, but there is a political alliance there. So I think both of them, they stand a better chance of winning for the positions that they are standing for. Unfortunately, a tough luck to the other guy.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Ntsikelelo Breakfast. He's a political analyst.